Hi everyone, I'm Neve Holcroft and I'd like to welcome you to this tutorial video for Block 5 of the Scheepjes Spring Forward Make-Along, designed by Irene of Handmade Past. The written pattern for this block, the Coffee with Cream and Coffee Beans block, is available on Irene's website. An ad-free PDF version of the whole pattern is also available from Irene's Ravelry and Etsy stores. Links are in the description below. In this tutorial, we'll be making the coffee bean stitch pattern. You won't need a cable needle for this stitch pattern, and in this tutorial I'll be using Scheepjes Chunky Monkey yarn in the colour Camel. I'll cast on a few stitches to make a small swatch of the actual pattern, so that you can see how the special stitches and techniques are worked. Here I have my swatch. I've cast on enough stitches for the edge stitches and to make 2 coffee beans. I've worked to the end of row 1 and now I have the right side of my work facing me, ready to begin row 2, which is the first row of the coffee bean. So I'll work the edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 purl stitches. And now ready in the correct place to begin the first coffee bean. So I'll move the yarn to the back of the work. We're going to slip the first stitch purlwise onto the right hand needle. Knit the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Now the stitch that we slipped, this one here, I'm going to pick that up with the left hand needle, slide the stitches nearer the end and just hold your finger there to keep those 2 stitches on there and slip that over the 2 stitches. You can see that it wraps the 2 stitches just nicely. Now we're going to purl the next 2 stitches, so I'll bring the yarn to the front of the work, purl the next 2, and now we're in the position to make the next coffee bean. Yarn to the back of the work, slip the next stitch purlwise onto the right hand needle, knit the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, using your left hand needle, grab that slipped stitch and just holding these 2 stitches on with your finger, slip that over the 2 stitches, and you see how it's just wrapped them nicely there. And then you carry on making your number of coffee beans, and then when you get to the edge stitches, purl them at 8 edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is the end of row 2 and the first row of the coffee bean stitch pattern. Here we are ready to begin row 3. On this row we're going to make up the stitch that was decreased on row 2 where you passed the slip stitch over and off the needle. So we'll work the first 8 edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we are where we're making the coffee bean. We're going to purl the next stitch. So we'll bring the yarn to the front of the work, purl a stitch. Now we're going to wrap the yarn round the needle, all the way round and back to the front, and purl the next stitch. Purl, yarn round the needle, pick up the loop and slip off. And now you can see how that extra stitch has been made in there with that loop. We're going to knit the next 2 stitches. One, 2, and we're at the next coffee bean. Purl the next stitch that's enclosed in that wrap. Wrap the yarn round the needle and purl the next stitch. See how that extra stitch has been made there? Now I'm at my edge stitches again. Knit the last 8 edge stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, now you're back with your original number of stitches on your row as well. Now we're ready for row 4, which is just basic knit and purl stitches as the pattern instructs. We just have to be careful when we get to this yarn round the needle stitch here. How you work into that carefully. So purl your edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to knit the next 3 stitches of the coffee bean. So yarn to the back, knit that one, knit the yarn round needle stitch, and knit the next stitch. And you see how that's got a little hole in the centre of your coffee bean there, like a real coffee bean. We're going to purl the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and now we're at the next coffee bean. We're going to knit these 3 stitches. 1, careful with that one. 2, 3. Now I'm at my edge stitches, so I'm going to purl the last edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see how you've got a wee coffee bean. So here we are at the beginning of row 5,
which is the last row in the 4-row repeat for the coffee bean stitch. I'm going to knit my 8 edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we purl the next 3 of the coffee bean. 1, 2, 3. Knit the next 2. 1, 2. And purl the next 3 for the coffee bean. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm at my edge stitches, so I'm going to knit my next 8 edge stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is the last row of the 4-row repeat for the coffee bean stitch, which you can see there.
Thank you for joining in with this make-along. You can find more support from Irene, the mod team, and the members in the Scheepjes Facebook groups, where we hope you'll share photos of your work with the hashtag #SpringForwardMal.